My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today I'm reviewing Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. This is £120 for 50ml and £165 for 100ml. Just go to 100ml then, wouldn't you, if it's that little in it. And it says a bold intensification of the original scent. Noir Extreme Parfum merges amber spices, woods, invoking the private, daring aspects of the Norman. Is that Norman? Noir man. The fragrance family is warm and spicy. The scent type is woody spices, and the key fragrance notes are cardamom, amber accord, tonka bean, absolute. Do we have our bottles of Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum? Are we engaged with our higher self? Let's get testing. There was lots of outrage that leather was used in this fragrance, and people were saying it was too strong and all of that stuff. But let's see. I love the original. I thought the original was super fantastico. I thought it was amazing. Loved it. I loved the projection in the original to be slightly more and the longevity to be slightly more, and then it would have got a 10. But I thought for the construction of the perfume, it was amazing. So I'm excited to see what they're doing with this. So how would I have changed this into a parfum? That's what I was thinking. The original, I think, was Noir de Toilette, and a perfume. There were lots of noirs. You would want to make it more denser. You would want to make it able to be layered under the first. You want it to be more musk heavy, more of everything kind of in there, but you want it to perform like the original. This is like beautifully blended. I was expecting from the feedback that I was just going to smell like a leather fragrance, if I'm honest with you, and it's not. I think it's very nice. I'm quite surprised. But the fragrance community does like to smash down a fragrance, doesn't it? It doesn't like to uplift and support creativity and art. This is a musk-heavy formulation, and it's utilizing musks at the top, the middle, and the base. It's also utilizing musks to smooth out the formulation. It's not as vibrant as I kind of would like. The original was a lot of vanillin, and it had that addictive quality, the vanillin, the coumarin, the C14, C18 gamma-galactone. That was kind of not all of it, but the majority of what you could smell, with other notes in there to give it sort of vanilla-y, tonkery feel. The vanilla has been decreased somewhat, and this is more musk heavy. The sharpness that you're detecting is the choice of ambretolide. And ambretolide, with all the other musks, is giving a cleanness to this. And this is very important because when you're dealing with a lot of vanilla notes, I've said this a lot of times before, coumarin, all this sort of stuff, it can smell like a pudding, like a dessert, and you really don't want it to smell like a dessert. You kind of want it to smell like a fine fragrance. And then ambretolide is used to clean up the formulation, have to sort of clean it, give it a sharpness. Ambretolide can also smell of berries. It does different things within how you're choosing it and the concentration you're using it. High amounts, interestingly, can help to increase projection in a cold, clean way. The Lily of the Valley raw materials are really nice within this. A great big classification of lots of different types of raw materials. They're allergen free, so they don't, apart from Lirol, which is now prohibited. The rest of these Lily of the Valley raw materials can help to give softness, cleanness to a formulation. So the Lily of the Valley's raw materials with the muscone-like raw materials help to give a softness to it, a softness and a fluffiness to this. The choice of ambers and naturals at the base of this is giving it the feel. And the choice of naturals when you're designing a perfume is so key, because you add too much citrus and it can smell too sharp, or it could be too fleeting and volatile. You add too little patchouli and it can help to sort of not be dark enough. And with this, you need the sort of darkness. The wood raw materials, the cedarwood and sandalwood, work within this. The lemon, the nutmeg absolutely help to give this a Western interpretation of a Middle Eastern type fragrance. And these sort of notes are sort of really apparent within more Eastern type formulations. I've been working a lot lately with cyprul. Cyprul with vanillin is really nice. And cyprul can be used to give an oud feel, but it can be used within formulations to darken it off, to give richness, smoothness. Even at sort of small amounts, trace amounts, it can add real darkness to a formulation. And that is what's happening here with the wood raw materials and the cyprul. On to my final thoughts. I like it. I think it's really nice. The leather note is not apparent. They're using Cedar, which is to give a leather note. And Cedar can be used within iris formulations to give a leather note to it. Too high amounts, it becomes too animalistic. Lower down in the formulation, it can help to give a leathery, woody feel. And when you combine that with woods, ambers, musks, sandalwood, cedarwood, nutmeg, cypress, you get this finish to it. The projection isn't really monstrous, to be honest with you, but it is a parfum. How I would wear this is I would layer this one with the one over the top, and I think it would be sublime. And I kind of wish I bought the bottle because I would have done that for you. So I'm going to go through my final marks. The box, it's safe, legal, compliant. I mean, Tom Ford are excellent with their sort of professional attitude, so I kind of really always appreciate that. So this is safe, legal, compliant, which I love. The price, I think it's worth the price. You're dealing with musk choices that are very expensive. Apart from naturals, if we take some naturals out of the equation, your rose, your tuberose, all of those things which are generally the most expensive things that you can buy. The musks are the next category of things which are expensive. And things like top note musk, hevetalide, habanalide, ambrettalide, muscone, they are kind of used all the time, and they're very, very expensive. And this is what Tom Ford are using within this to give that top, middle, and base. I do keep smelling it a little bit. Things like galaxolide and ethylene brassylate are sort of industrially very cheap. They're indispensable and they're very good, but there's other musts to use, but that increases the cost right up. And interestingly, we've had a real massive increase within the price of raw materials and struggling to get raw materials, so the price has gone up, obviously. So this is, I think, is quite an expensive formulation, but I do really like it. I love the sort of cinnamony aspect to it, the nutmeggy aspect to it, the vanillin and the C18, C14, the gamma galactone. As I said, I would layer the two over the top. If this had monstrous wall of projection, if this had masses of sillage, all of that sort of stuff, I'd mark it a 10. Purely because it's not doing that on me. I'm going to mark it an 8, but I really like it. I think it's a delicious formulation. I think it's in keeping with the original, but it's kind of not giving me monstrous projection. Please leave your comments below if you find that this gives you that monstrous projection. I'm really curious, actually, because this is not how I would have given that. How I'd improved upon it, added in some ambers, actually, and some ambers. Price might have gone up quite a lot, actually. Some ambers and some wood ambers, all that sort of stuff gives projection in a hard way, and I would have gone in with that. But I kind of love it. I think it's very nice. I think it's a beautiful formulation, but simply because of the price and because it's not projecting out the room, I'm going to mark it an 8, and I think that's really fair. So thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.